Rise and shine, beloved, rise and shine, great grand rising. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We are here. Let's pull you up on Facebook, and then we're going to activate, and then we're going to be ready to go. Okay? Give me just a second. Let me get us up on Facebook. And I have to wait until I go live to be able to do this. So, or else, I would do it ahead of time. Okay, we're there. Let me just put a comment up here, Great Grand Rising, and we're ready to go. Okay. There we go. All right, lovelies. With that being said, go ahead, take a moment, tag a friend, tag a family member, let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. With that being said, come on, let's activate the success mind. Hand on heart, hand on core. Take a good, healing, deep breath in. Those feet are flat. Oh. Your back is straight. Relax, crown of the head. Drop the shoulders down. Arms, torso, core. Thigh, legs, feet. Breathe in through your nostril. Out through the mouth. Relax deeper. Turn the focus inward now. Come on, turn inward. Bow your head a little bit. Turn inward to the rich inner life, the kingdom of God that is within, and breathe. And relax. One more time for the power of 3. Good, healing, deep breath in. And exhale. All right, lovely. So glad you're here. Reese, so glad that you're here. Come on, y'all. Give me a great grand rising. Let me know that you're here. I'm not running on full strength today, but we are here. All right. So with that being said, let us continue where we were. We're going into the 3rd week of January. And we've talked about this many, many, many times. Yes, Great Grand Rising, Catalyst of Change Ministries. Wow, Great Grand Rising. All right, I love that name. Love that name. All right, we're going into the 3rd week of January, and statistically, they have coined this week Blue Monday. We've talked about this many times because by this time in the new year, many people have already defaulted on their quote unquote resolution. But we know that as long as we are here, as long as we are alive, we always have an opportunity to reset, to restart, to refresh, to revive. Yes. And so we're so thankful that this year of what we call 2026, is a universal number 1 year. And this whole year is about a new beginning, setting the stage and setting the foundation for your next 9-year cycle. So we're going from 26 to 35. And that sounds like a long way off, and you don't have to know everything and plan everything. All you have to do now is be what? Intentional about laying the foundation this year. You could be carrying over from last year, which is fine, but this year it's all about intention, identity, initiation, taking the initiative. So again, put this in your notes, beloved. All this year, you're setting the stage, you're laying the foundation. So there are 4 pillars that we are working with this month to ensure that we are not caught in what they call Blue Monday, that all along this year, you keep coming back. This is going to be an intentional anchor for you, these 4 pillars. So we started out talking about from the beginning, right? Pillar number 1 is identity reset. Really taking a moment to ask yourself, to ask your heart, your spirit, your higher self, your God self, who am I now? Who am I meant to be in this season of my life? Right? Identity reset, coming back to your original identity, making sure that you are embracing your wealth attractors, your God-given gifts and ability for why you are here. And make no mistake about it, beloved. All of us are here with purpose and intention. And I just want to take a moment right here for you to acknowledge yourself. If you have any children, any nieces, nephews, godchildren, spiritual children, that you have influenced and impacted their lives, I want you to take a moment to really congratulate yourself for doing a good job. Regardless as if they have it all together, if they are doing everything that you think they should do, you've impacted lives. You've impacted souls, beloved. And we want to take a moment and celebrate that, right? So who am I supposed to be in this season of my life? That's pillar number one. I'm looking at your email. Pillar number two, we talked about last week. We started talking about reclaiming authority. Reclaiming your spiritual authority. You see, you cannot reclaim authority without being clear about your identity, right? So when people say, do you know who you are? I would always answer and say, what? I know who I am. I am with capital letters. I am my God self, the part of me that's just like God, right? Remember the Genesis writer gave us a dominion mandate in Genesis number 1. For those of you that are familiar with sacred text, the Bible, Genesis number 1, have dominion. So we have a dominion mandate. So what I want us to pick up today, we didn't get to go far. I'm going to just name the other two pillars. We're going to be looking at reclaiming authority, right? That I am, the part of you that's like God. Vision seeding, SEEDING. All this year we're laying the foundation. And number 4 is energetic sovereignty. Being able to set clear, loving boundaries. Where are you meant to lead rather than follow? So that's what we're talking about when we talk about reclaiming authority. Stepping into your role of divine identity, stepping into your role of sovereignty, and being able to be good and to rest there. So when we talk about reclaiming authority, I want you to say this, as was recorded in the Exodus writer, I am that I am. Something about that should resonate with you. It resonates when you are tapped into your divine sovereign authority. Put that in your notes, I am that I am. Meaning, I am that I am, and I will be whatever I need to be when I need to be it. Divine sovereignty. So we're so thankful and grateful today that we have this opportunity to start laying and seeding foundation for where we're going the rest of this year. So tell me in the comments, what do you have a sense of that you're being asked for? Where's your attention being drawn this year? Talk back to me. Where is your attention being drawn? What are you being asked to focus on this year, if you don't mind sharing? Because it's all about being able to reclaim your authority, looking at your divine giftings, and being fine with who you are and what you're here to do. It could be health. It could be relationships. It could be thriving financially. What are you being asked to take a look at this year? Standing in your power, no longer being influenced, right? Beautiful. Yes. Entrepreneurship. Yes. I thought so. Yes. All righty. Entrepreneurship. Absolutely. We want to take a moment. We want to take a moment and just really bathe that and surround that, right? I'm looking at health and I'm looking at wholeness, because when you're healthy, you are wealthy, right? So, entrepreneurship, I love that. Going into your own, being able to hold your own, and your identity is going to have a lot to do with that. Reclaiming your authority is going to give you the power and the ability to move and go forward. So remember last week we talked a lot about how to identify what your real core giftings are, what I call your wealth attractors, because not only did the Creator give you the gift, anoint the gift, make room for you to use the gift, and then pay you, tangibly pay you for using that gift. You cannot get a deal better than that. So while we are here going into the third week of January, this is a good time to assess, where am I? Who am I meant to be now in this season of my life? And beloved, we are not in a hurry, because this year, this universal number 1 year, is not about speed. We talked about that last week, right? It's not about speed. It's about proper beginnings. It's about beginning properly so that we are laying the right foundation for the next 9 years. So now you have to do what the proverbial writer says. You have to guard your heart with all diligence. You have to guard your heart, because out of it, your heart, your God self, your spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever language works for you, out of your heart will flow the issues or the power or the authority that you need to create the life that you know you're here to live. And we're so thankful and grateful for all the help that we have in the unseen realm. So when we talk about now reclaiming authority, we want to drill down today into your I am divine consciousness. I know you've heard all of this before, that when you say I am, I don't want you to think I am meaning your limited, egoic, physical self. We're talking about your divine, sovereign, God self. That is why you could say I am that I am. There is something so resting and calming about that. When you just take a breath and calm down. I am that I am. Not only I am that I am so satisfied, so confident, so certain, so secure in who I am, because I'm pulling on my God self, the part of me that is just like God, the part of me that came here to impact lives. So like I said, make no mistake about it, beloved, we all came here with purpose. And our purpose is to impact lives. And so one of the quickest ways, we looked at that last week when we pulled up the analogy of the 9/11 tragedy that happened in New York, several years ago. If you were asked to go and do something or be a part of that, what would you do to help? All of that helps you tap into your natural gifting, what you're genuinely good at. And that's where we want to land. Even in going into entrepreneurship, having your core sense, your unique serving position is going to be so important, because it's so noisy out there in 3D. It is so noisy. There are so many things, so many gurus, so many experts, so many blueprints, so many techniques. Do it this way, do it that way, do it the other way. You have to have your own unique serving system, knowing what you're here to give, how you're here to impact. All right. So we want to take advantage of this number 1 year. We want to lay a foundation, and then we want to keep building on that foundation. So what else do you know this year? Now I want you to tell me just one thing that you're going to do differently this year from last year. One thing you're going to do differently. One thing you're going to do, it could be, I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to take the weight off. Whatever it is, one do differently. Excuse me, I'm going to focus on myself more. I'm going to learn how to put me first, because many of you are service people. And yes, and you are here to serve, and we know that. Yes, 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 yes. Discipline of self more. Absolutely. Discipline of self. We call that self-mastery. Self-mastery. Self-leadership. Learning how to be the leader of yourself. How to care for self. I love that. Self-discipline. And discipline is all about choice, action. We have those in our arsenals every single day. Every day, all day long, you have the ability to make a choice and then take a teeny tiny baby step action. We don't have to do it all at once. Teeny tiny baby step action, right? Choice, action, and that just keeps building one step at a time. And when we do that, choice, action, you're going to start implementing or activating the compound effect. And the compound effect says if you take one teeny tiny action and repeat it, and repeat it, and repeat it, over time it compounds. Because when you see big successes, there is no such thing as a big success. They're just teeny tiny action steps that you take over and over again. Success and what we call failure, because I say there's no such thing as failure, there's only experiences. They're made of the same things, repeated action. Put that in your notes. Success and failure, quote unquote, they're made of the same materials. They're nothing but actions taken over and over again. Yes, 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 yes. I'm determined to stay focused to complete a certain task I have been working on for a long time. It involves a lot of writing and thinking to create this important document. Beautiful. And you know, more than ever, some of the things that will allow you to have the energy, the discipline, and the focus to stay on task is we have to have our bodies in order. We have to have the nervous system in order, right? We have to have the vitamins and the nutrients in our body that will help us with mental clarity. All of this is real, beloved. Yes. So a lot of times when we are behind and we are procrastinating, it's not because we don't want to. It's because on an energetic level, we don't have the sovereignty. That's why we're going to be talking about energetic sovereignty to stay focused and to stay disciplined. So this year, as we journey together, Reese, we're going to make sure we're keeping all the components, the physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual, all in alignment so that we can do, right? We've talked about this many times. Many of the foods that we eat are so toxic that we don't have the mental fortitude or the energy to complete certain tasks. And especially when you're doing such a deep creative work like writing and thinking and pulling documents together, writing instructions, writing a book, writing briefs, whatever it is, we need everything working. We need our body, we need our mind, we need our spirit all in sync, all in alignment and agreement to get it done. I'm excited that we have another opportunity to lay the foundation that will carry us forward, that we want to keep building on. And it only takes a teeny tiny step. So you have your do differently, right? Now you also need to look at, right, your do differently is the same thing as what I'm letting go of. What am I letting go of this year, right? I'm doing the same thing. I'm correcting my eating pattern as well. Agreed. I am working on all. Yes, my mind must be intact. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to be agreeing and surrounding and covering you with that, especially you too, going into entrepreneurship, right? This is how we focus, right? And then we also know that as we move in, we're staying in that 5D, that high 5D, five-dimensional realm of God consciousness, Christ consciousness, right? Creativity, divine creativity, and we're pulling from there, shutting out all the noise from the outside, all the noise from the outer realm, and tapping in and pulling from there. And then we're going to do the mental, emotional, and physical, bring that into alignment as well, so that we can stay focused, so that you have the drive. And I know you all know this, beloved. When we fast, when we consecrate, when we go on a juice fast, a smoothie cleanse, whatever it is, and that mental clarity comes back, all of that lets you know, I still haven't been able to clear that alarm, y'all. I then called, I did everything, it's still beeping, right? You still have to know, Grand Rising Lisa, yes. So we're bringing everything together, bringing everything on board this year so that we can do things differently. And what we want to focus on is reclaiming authority. And that's all about your I am divine sovereign nature. And so I want you to just take a breath and just relax and say that I'm just sitting back and relaxing a little bit. I am that I am. Everything in you should calm down. Everything in your mind, your heart, your body should calm down. I am that I am. And then I always like to say, because what that means is, whatever I need to be, I am whatever I need to be when I need to be it. Can you just activate that confidence today? Come on, relax. Breathe. I am that I am. Whatever I need to be, I'll be that. And it is so. You should feel an assurance and a confidence. That's how you activate and anchor yourself in your I am identity, meaning I am an individualized expression of God in this 3D realm. Put that in your notes. I am, right, an individualized expression of the Almighty in this physical realm. I am here to be just like the Creator God in this 3D realm. So anytime we say I am, we want to be very conscious of what we're saying after that. If you have a prayer partner, a buddy, your best favorite person that you talk to, make an agreement with them that we're going to catch one another whenever we say I am and we follow it by something negative or something that is counterproductive. Yeah. I love it, Reese. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am she. That is all I need to be whenever I need to. Oh, I love it. Yes. You see how personal that is, you guys? That's what we call the law of adaptation, right? How you have to adapt something and make it yours. I don't care what principle you hear. I don't care what guideline, what blueprint you're given, all the spiritual success principles that I give you guys. I always say you have to activate the law of adaptation. You have to own it and make it yours. And when you can begin to embody that, I want you to hear this, then you can take action. We cannot take action on what sounds good or what seems like a good idea. That doesn't let you take action, beloved. You stumble and you procrastinate. I am who I am and will be. Make it so personal. So that's where the power kicks in. And I want you to see that. When we start talking more about energetic sovereignty, everything is all about energy. Energy and spirit is the same, beloved. Don't get confused with the language in. You have to be able to feel your spirit, feel your energy, feel your life force, all the same words. I do that many times here. Say things many different ways so that you don't get hung up on vocabulary, right? And language. Because until you can own it and embody it means that everything in your physical body feels it as well. Not only does your spirit know it, your body knows it as well. Once your body knows it, watch this, put this in your notes. This is how you can tell when you embody something, because then you feel safe enough to take action. I'm telling you something worth $1 million right here. Because you can only move at the speed of safety. And anytime you don't feel safe, you're not going to move. Do you hear what I'm saying? Anytime you don't feel safe, you're paralyzed. That's where procrastination kicks in. Because your ego mind that wants to protect you and keep you comfortable because it's not sure of the unknown, especially as entrepreneurs, we live here our whole lives, right? And when we say the unknown, you know the outcome by spirit, by your vision. That's why we have to have vision. That's why we're going to do the vision seeding, right? Because you can see. But when we come back to this 3D natural realm, the ego mind doesn't know the outcome. So you go to have an event, you go to host a program, you go to sell a product, because the ego mind, the flesh or the carnal mind, only knows how to protect you and keep you safe based on what it knows. It doesn't know the outcome of who's going to buy the ticket, who's going to buy the product, who's going to show up. And so if you're not operating from your 5D dimension of Christ consciousness, that 3D ego realm, ego mind kicks in and says you're not safe. You're going to be criticized. You're going to be rejected. Who wants to hear you? Nobody's going to buy that. It's not good enough. You don't feel safe. But when we talk about embodiment, now we're safe in the body and the body knows it. Now you have the energy and the mindset with your God self to move forward. Embodiment is about action. Write that in your notes. That's how you can tell you've made something your own, because you can take action on it. So when the 3D realm wants to say, who are you to? And we all know that is common. Who do you think you are to? Why should anyone? Then you can breathe. I am that I am. Come on. That's pulling on something deeper from within, taking you past the 3D physical realm of appearance, past the lower 4D realm of vain imagination, and we go right into high 4D, divine imagination, divine vision, and see with our God self. See with our God self and say, this is what the outcome is going to be. I can see it. I've already been shown the outcome. The rest is on spiritual laws, the unseen realm of divine angelic operation and support, the quantum field, where all those waves and particles that we are emanating start coming together, pulling things together in divine synchrony, and you're not leaving anything to chance. So, beloved, in this season, we've talked about how prayer works many times. It's not about praying and then shaking in your shoes, wondering if God heard you or if God's going to answer you. That is not how prayer works. God has already established everything, from the Genesis writer to Jesus the Christ, saying it is finished. Everything is done. I've already given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. Now, that's why we're here in a community like this, so that we can learn how to operate in, flow in what has already been given. And here we have the tools to be able to navigate all the noise from the 3D realm, all the noise from past patterns and behaviors and mindsets, how to come out of comfort zones. But you have to adapt, put in the law of adaptation, activate it, make it your own. So when Reese says, I am she knows what that means. You see what I'm saying? It has to resonate in your being. That's when you can take action. That's why when obstacles come and obstacles are thrown in your pathway, you can breathe. And we're going to close with our spiritual success mantra, right? We're going to breathe, relax, smile real big, turn that focus inward, smile real big, and say, all is well. Say your first name. All is well, first name. All is well. Nothing missing. Nothing broken. In this sacred moment, nothing's missing. Nothing's broken. No place to be. Nothing that needs to be done. I surrender all. Relax. I surrender all. I let go. I let God. I'm now open to receiving all the good I desire and deserve. And it is so. All right? Take another deep breath in, beloved. And we're here. So in this month, we are sowing seed. This is all the ways that you can sow seed, right? We're working with the number 1 and the number 2, the number 12, the number 1. It could be a $21 seed, a $121 seed, a $12 seed. It doesn't matter. This is all the ways that you can sow, right? And we're so thankful and grateful that we are here. Take a screenshot of that. And beloved, don't get caught in Blue Monday, right? Just keep going. If you have a setback, just know that's a setup, right? As I said, there's no such thing as failure, only experiences. And if you have a setback, you just say, this is a setup for me to begin again with more information. Because every time you have a setback, every time something doesn't work, you learn something. In our community, we value information because information is power. All right, lovelies, I'm going to release you. Have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of our day. And don't forget to like this video when it's over. You may have to go back, hit the like button. Please leave a comment because the algorithm want to see engagement. And the engagement we done here is not the same as going under the live, either on YouTube or Facebook. Leave a comment, hit the like button. That's going to boost the algorithm, and then they will push this out for more people. I have thousands of followers, but they're not getting the message. Even you guys sometimes show up and say you couldn't find me. So that's how we're going to pay it forward today. All right, love you guys. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.